Hello guys, today we're going to talk about the PS5 Pro because today was the day in which they showcased the new PS5, and I really expected, as many of you probably, that the price were just a little bit lower. Now, I really want to show you why it's not worth it to buy a PS5, and instead you could buy a PC. Now, I'm just doing a build of a PC which is even better than the specs of a PS5 Pro, if you want to know it, around the same price. All right, because the version that you saw in the showcase was the digital version of the PS5 Pro. So if you want the full PS5 Pro with the disc and the stand, is like 950 euros. All right. I would rather prefer to, spend that much money on a GPU rather than a stupid PS5 Pro. Now, I'm going to show you why. Now, a lot of people say that the regular PS5, all right, has the GPU that is equivalent to a Radeon RX 6600 XT. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. That's the specs of the PS5, because in my opinion, by looking at the benchmarks, in my opinion, the GPU of a PS5 is like a 2060, so much worse. But let me speak, okay? Because that was a GPU which architecture was RDNA 2, and the CPU was Zen 2, 8 cores. Now, I've asked even ChatGPT to describe me the CPU of the PS5 Pro, and it clearly says AMD Zen 2, alright? So, 8 cores, 16 threads, it's basically a Ryzen 7 3800X if you want to, excel that kind of CPU. So, which is a CPU that is very old. Now you can see that it's a very old CPU, and even the PS5 Pro, they don't mention it, but it has this kind of CPU, which is completely not worth it, okay? Now you can obviously buy it with this kind of price, but it's completely broken as a price, okay? I can swear to God, this is not the price you want to see for a CPU like this, alright? In fact, in my build, I've basically covered the CPU with a much better CPU, so much stronger at around this price. This CPU is worth like 50 euros or less at nowadays standards. And in fact, I want to really see how it will perform in GTA 6, since it's an open world game and basically CPUs are really, stressed if we talk about big games that have big open worlds. Anyways, now they say that this is the new GPU for the PS5 Pro. And I kind of agree, by seeing the specs, seeing the videos and whatever, this is the kind of performance you're gonna get, but with better ray tracing. Now, you want to know something really cool? There are rumors on the internet that RDNA 4 is going to come out this year at the end of the year, and the PS5 Pro has the specs that says that the GPU is RDNA 4. So RDNA 4 is not out yet. So this is the kind of performance of a RDNA 3 GPU, right? So basically, by looking at the past GPUs, you know that basically, if we look at this, the RX 6600 XT is kind of the same as the 5700 XT, so the generation before. All right, it doesn't really change, 60%, and the other one is like 66, so it's not that much of a difference, but this is a very big difference. All right, almost double it, and they also say it into the showcase, which is obviously marketing. Now, I want to tell you that these GPUs that are, named 6600, 7600 and probably even the 8600 XT, which is going to have the same performance of this GPU and has the same architecture of a PS5 Pro GPU, is going to cost around 300 euros. But if you want to do a PC that has even better specs of a PS5 Pro, you can basically check this. Check this, alright? With 1000 euros, you are gonna get a even better PC. So if you just wait the end of the year, you're gonna get even this with a much less costly, less expensive GPU, which is 430 euros. So you are gonna even save money, unless you wanna pick the PS5 Pro Digital, alright, which is gonna cost less. So yeah, guys, we're gonna comment the specs that I've chosen. So the GPU is the same, alright, the 7600. The RAM are 32 gigs of DDR4, 3200 megatrons of transfer speed. The power supply is a Corsair, 650 watts, 80 plus bronze, which is kind of enough. The motherboard is this one. I don't really remember the specs of this one, to be honest. You know, oh my god, it's a Asus ROG Strix. Basically, it's the first one I've saw that was very cool. B550, and I chose it, but it's completely fine if you want to know it. And the CPU is a Ryzen 7, but 5800X. And if you want to even get a better CPU, you can choose the X3D cache, version of this, but it's gonna cost more. I don't know, if with the same price, basically, if the 8600X GPU is going to come out at the end of the year at 300 euros, which is probably going to be, so 100 less bucks, you can, spend a little bit more for the CPU, okay, to get the best CPU of the AM4 platform for gaming, alright? And you have 2 terabytes of memory, NVMe Gen 4, basically a case. You could even, apply all these things, in a flat case like mine. My case is a fucking wall. I don't know if you know it, but what's that thing that I have, like, here? There is like a black shadow or something. I don't really understand what's that thing, but anyways, doesn't really matter, okay? So this is broken, guys, because it's no-brainer that if you want to spend that much money, it's much more worth it to, spend this amount of money to a machine that lets you play games, edit videos, edit photos, render 3D objects, navigate on the internet, do whatever thing you want, even, do your school projects, do your, online lessons, and whatever thing you want. Basically, a PC is a fucking PC. You cannot even doubt it, alright? I run a local ChatGPT on my GPU at home. So basically, I have ChatGPT even without internet due to my PC, alright? So yeah, it's no-brainer that it's much better to have a PC. Even the upgradability is much better because you can just switch a piece of a PC you don't want anymore. Or maybe if another newer component is going to be out, you can get it and plug into your PC, basically. So you have not free, but you can upgrade very easily. And if you have a PS5, that's it. It's going to be the same for years and years to come. I don't know, guys. They really screwed you, because the 8600 XT, I'm really honest with you, is going to have that kind of performance of this GPU, and it's gonna cost 300 euros, and they are using basically a CPU that is worth 50 euros. The Ryzen 7 3800X is not a bad CPU. It's only really old and less efficient, and basically all the cores, each cores are not as good as these ones. All right, so it's no brainer, guys. That this PS5 Pro is like a scam. I I don't know if you're gonna buy it. Simply, I really don't care if you buy it, to be honest. Oh, but I'm really worried that you don't see it. I think you can see the price, to be honest. As you can see, this is the price if you didn't see it before. I have Op Studio. That's a ultra wide screen, 32:9. So that's it. That's the reason why I'm worried that you won't see it very well. But that's it. And this is even better because you have 32 gigs of RAM, a better CPU. I mean, even a fucking motherboard. You have a motherboard. You can, add how much RAM you want, and even how many NVMe's you want. No, I'm just joking. Probably 2 or 3 NVMe's, and you are done. But it's much better than having the motherboard of a console because it's basically not a motherboard, a customizable motherboard. So that's it, guys. Please don't buy the fucking PS5 Pro. It's not worth the price, not worth anything. And even I don't know, the iPhone 16, it's not the period, man. Really, I don't know. iPhone 16 is like the same. They are adding features that are basically useless because maybe for now for we that are young, having all these features and things are cool, they are okay, but for all older people, it's like, what the fuck am I doing with that? I mean, it's I don't know, guys. Even a 60 hertz screen for iPhone doesn't feel quite right to me. But anyways, that's it. You can even choose different kind of processors if you want. They are all gonna be not fine. I mean, because the GPU is gonna be very tough. So I really suggest you to be up from this CPU, the Ryzen 5 5600, to the Ryzen 9 5950X. But you're not gonna have that much difference. Even if you play newer games, you're not gonna notice a difference. You're gonna notice a bigger difference if you pick a Cache 3D CPU, or even if you do heavy workloads for the CPU, so you run heavy programs but are not specifically games. That's it. I mean, do what you want. I mean, it's your life. It's not worth it, by the way. Bye bye.